Meta has made some massive changes to Facebook ads in just the last 30 days, and they're going to be rolling out these changes across all accounts over the next 3 months. These changes are so big that they fundamentally change the way that we're going to be setting up our campaigns, organizing our accounts, and ultimately scaling businesses. If over the last 3 years you've been focused on Advantage Plus shopping campaigns, a scaling mechanism, a graduation mechanism that I like to talk about all the time, then you are going to have to completely shift your strategy because Advantage Plus is completely changing. And the craziest part is it's not changing the way that we were all expecting. Some of the key changes are Advantage Plus is no longer a single ad set campaign. There are now campaign and ad set budgets completely named different in your account. You're now even able to add multiple ad sets to Advantage Plus campaigns, duplicating existing ad sets into those campaigns, which is fundamentally going to change how we actually scale. This is a big shift in meta ads, and we need to make sure this is taken seriously. Looking in the Facebook ad account, first off, nothing looks different at the forefront. Everything looks exactly the same. But once you go to create your first campaign, everything changes immediately. If you go to click your sales campaign, you're going to notice right now, you are not being prompted to the Advantage Plus module. I'm going to show you what this has historically looked like for the last 3 years. You would normally go to click create campaign, click your sales campaign, and be prompted to choose your campaign setup. At this stage, you're either prompted to use a manual campaign setup or an Advantage Plus shopping campaign. This has completely gone away. Back to the new way. Once you're in the new setup, you no longer have Advantage Plus as a prompt or as a picking and choosing situation. Advantage Plus is now on the right-hand side here. And this is not a toggle. This is not an on or off button. This is based on how you set up your campaign. So if you set up your campaign following specific recommendations, then you are technically on an Advantage Plus campaign. This is not as simple as a quick categorization. This is one of the huge keys that you need to understand here. The bidding mechanism and model, as I confirmed with Facebook, compared to the way that a normal manual sales campaign runs, is fundamentally different. So the Advantage Plus model bids more one-to-one, meaning finding users, matching creative to users, where the manual non-Advantage Plus model does a better job of matching groups of people or audiences to individual or groups of creative. That's kind of why our entire system works so well, where we graduate the best creatives and try to match them to the groups. Now, we'll talk about that in just a second, but I'm going to show you how we're changing, how we're basically shifting this model so that it continues to work not only in this model, but actually gives us more advantages in this model. So going through the campaign settings, you're going to notice a couple key differences here as well. If we scroll down on the campaign settings, we're going to notice the first big key is the budget. Facebook has called budget changes so many different names over the years. There used to be CBO and ABO, and just recently for the last 3 years, there's been Advantage Plus budget. Now they've finally simplified this. They made this a lot easier for us to understand. And now we actually have the ability to have campaign budget and ad set budget. Now, a little note here, I'm getting a little red flag because I only have one ad set in this actual campaign. And if I were to create a second ad set, I am now able to, at the campaign level, adjust my budget from a campaign budget to an ad set budget. Once you're going to notice is once I do that, on the right hand side here, we see our campaign score drop from 100 all the way to 60. Do not worry about campaign scores. Do not make this your make or break. Do not make a campaign score completely change your strategy. All this is doing is steering you away from the normal Advantage Plus setup that we've been running for the last 3 years. The next thing you're going to notice is there are no longer existing customer budget caps. This is a huge difference. In traditional Advantage Plus, for literally the last 3 years, you have been able to set up an existing customer budget cap, meaning you're only willing to spend a certain amount on existing customers versus new or engaged customers. Now, they have changed this. Just so you could see what I'm talking about, in a traditional campaign right here on my screen, we would actually go all the way down to the budget and schedule section, and we would click existing customer budget cap, and we'd be able to type in 10 or even 0, which means we'll aim to spend no more than $0 on your existing customers. In the new setup, that is completely gone. There's actually a big win to this, which I'm going to explain in just a few minutes, but what you need to know right now is that you cannot set existing customer budget caps at the campaign level. End of story. By the way, if everything here is completely overwhelming and you've been blindsided by Facebook over and over and over again, and you actually want to work on the operations side of your business and let everything when it comes to Facebook ads, Google ads, and even Shopify to be handled by a team of experts, then go to the moonlighters.com/apply. We are here to actually scale your ad account for you, complete white glove service A to Z with an actual team of professionals who have actually been doing this for 7+ years. I got a link down below in the description if you do actually want to work with us. If not, let's get right back into the video. So after handling our budgets, you'll notice that audience segment reporting is exactly the same. There is no difference here, and we can actually move forward to our ad sets. When we're looking into our ad sets, we're going to notice a couple of additional changes. So yes, they did not just stop at the campaign level, they moved these into the ad set level as well. So starting at the top of the ad set level, you're going to notice really no important differences. There's a couple different verbiages here, but for the most part, it's 99% the same. When we move down to the audience section, this is where everything completely changes. So quickly comparing the audience section that we have now to the old Advantage Plus audience and then the old manual campaign, it's a complete hybrid. So what you'll notice in your current Advantage Plus campaigns, there is no audience. You can't select anything. You're 100% broad. All you can select is your actual country. In this case, we have kind of this blend. There's some differences that have gone on, and you'll notice in the top right corner, we have Advantage Plus on. This is going to change a lot of how you set things up, especially at the audience level. If we just start at the very top here, you'll notice that if I don't touch anything, we are setting up full United States or full whatever country you're in. The minimum age, which is just like Advantage Plus, has been set up, all languages, and no audience exclusions. Now, keyword here, this is the big change of Advantage Plus, custom audience exclusion. This is the first time we're now able to add an exclusion to an Advantage Plus setup. So if I click here, I am now able to select any existing audience that I have and actually exclude it from the Advantage Plus setup. This is totally new. What this is going to allow us to do, if we're running 100% broad Advantage Plus campaigns, is no longer have to set a 0% budget cap or a 5% budget cap or a 10% budget cap. Instead, what it's going to allow us to do is actually choose the audience that we want to eliminate. This lets us go even further and eliminate retargeting audiences. So potentially Advantage Plus can work as a pure prospecting tool, finding net new customers for your business. After exclusions, you'll notice we still have the same suggest an audience. They're being much more clear that this is an audience suggestion by saying straight up suggest an audience. You guys know by now, if you've watched my videos, that I'm not a huge fan of suggestions or signals. I'm a huge fan of actually targeting the people that you want to target. Before I even get into what you should do, know here that if you select suggest an audience, you're now able to put inclusions, age recommendations, gender recommendations, and demographic recommendations. This is very important. This is very different than what we used to have. You need to make sure that if you're suggesting audiences, you are selecting things, because Facebook is going to start this as your seed audience, and then it's going to expand beyond this seed audience. This has multiple additional options compared to what we previously had in the old setup. Now you'll notice, if you've really been paying attention, there's a little button down here that says further limit the reach of your ads. If we click this, we get the want to go to the old is 33% worse. Guess what, everyone? And we've talked about this over and over and over. These results are for 2 months in 2023 on just 16 advertisers. There's more than 16 advertisers watching this video every single day right now. Why do they only have this calculated for just 16 people? They have millions of advertisers that they could validate this data with if it was better. In my opinion, this data was the best they've ever gotten, a 33% improvement in cost per result. I'm going to take this with a huge grain of salt, not to mention it's over 2+ years old at this stage. So when we go here and we click switch setup, we are going to move to the traditional audience builder. In the traditional audience builder, everything is literally the same, except these are no longer suggestions. These are the actual audiences that we are going to be targeting. This is a core difference. Now, anything you set up here is going to directly impact the people and the audiences that you're targeting. Now, the last core difference at the ad set level is placements. You'll notice here, placements Advantage Plus is on. In the settings within placements, they're naturally automatically going to show you on all placements, period. If you want to change those placements, now you can for the very first time in Advantage Plus. You can now change your devices, your platforms, your placements, including skippable ads, not including skippable ads, and even changing your brand safety filters. Another huge secret difference here is that all inventory filters are now changing to expanded. Historically, moderate inventory has been selected for all of Instagram, all of Facebook. Now, ads can be shown on expanded inventory. Expanded inventory basically means all content. I think the reason that they're doing this is because there's an increase in content that is not necessarily the cleanest looking content. You need to be careful about selecting expanded inventory versus moderate inventory. This is something that we are going to want to test across dozens of accounts to be 100% sure. And I will keep everyone posted on this, whether it's on YouTube for a dedicated video or on channels like X for something more basic if it's just a little small finding. Okay, so now what are we doing? How are we setting up our campaigns? First off, you need to know that this is all brand new. So anything I'm telling you right now is going to change, and I'm going to make updated videos whenever those things change. There are some tweaks that I'm making on my side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the campaign settings that I recommend, the ad set settings that I recommend, and then finally, I'm going to take you through a little bit of theory, show you the flow chart that I actually use all the time. Now, I think it's going to tweak, but keep in mind, we run for hundreds of brands, and the only way we're going to know for sure if this works well is by testing it. So stay tuned on this channel because everything is about to change in Facebook ads. So right away, starting at the campaign level, the things that I'm going to be doing on all of my accounts, first in the campaign details, we are changing nothing. In our Advantage Plus catalog settings, if it's a catalog based campaign, yes, I'm having this on, but in most cases, we're not running catalog campaigns. You're going to notice by just selecting this off, our campaign score is going to drop. I don't care. We can't be focused on the campaign score. We're not running catalog ads. The next thing is for budget. I am always going to be selecting a campaign budget. Ad set budgets are completely outdated, especially in e-commerce. We're going to be running campaign budgets nearly every single time. Next piece here is campaign bid strategy. In all cases, for now, I'm selecting highest volume or value. I have heard some secrets from Facebook that they are going to be allowing ROAS goal to be set, and then for us not being forced to run ROAS goal on a 7-day click, no view through. And in fact, we might actually be able to use ROAS goal on a 7-day click, 1-day view. But for right now, that's still not possible. So we're going to select highest volume. The next piece here, and this doesn't change, is we are making sure we have our engaged audiences and our existing customers set up. As you can see by my engaged audiences and my existing customers, we have Klaviyo add to cart 90 days. We have Klaviyo visitors 90 days. And then we have the same audiences again in our pixel, add to cart 90 and visitors 30. In our existing customers, we have Klaviyo purchasers over the last 90 days. You could expand this to 180 days or maximum. And then we have purchase 180 days from the pixel. Moving into the ad set level, in most cases, I'm selecting website and shop as long as I have an Instagram and Facebook shop set up. If I don't, then I'm selecting website. For my performance goal, I'm selecting maximize the number of conversions. I'm of course selecting my proper data set, and my conversion event is always going to be purchase. We are never ever setting add to carts or anything lower or higher in the funnel. Always purchase. It is the final step. It is where the money is transacted, and we want to let Facebook know that. For my attribution settings, I'm setting 7 days and 1 day. So 7-day click, 1-day view. And then in my budgets and schedules, nothing is really going to change here. Everything is going to be standard setup, every day running the same. In my audience section, this is where things get key. I'm going to take you through the theory of this in just a few moments, but what you should know is that for the most part, I am switching to the old school setup, which is what we have here. In most cases, I'm selecting further limit the reach of your ads and then switching the setup. It will still say Advantage Plus on, but just know that these are not being used as suggestions as Advantage Plus would normally be used. This also gives me the flexibility to change my age and my genders, which is really, really important for a lot of the brands that we work on. In our placements section, for right now, we're keeping all of this on. We have basically seen that all placements does outperform not all placements, but you need to do a placement report and actually understand where is your money going. Again, if this sounds crazy overwhelming, go to the moonlighters.com and apply to work with us. Scrolling down a bit more, we are not changing any brand safety, skippable ads, placement controls. We're keeping this all standard. That is how I'm going to be setting up my campaigns on a moving forward basis. There are tweaks, there are changes that are going to be made. And on previous videos, which I'll link down below, I have showed you this flowchart. This Facebook ads flowchart is how we run our accounts. We have an Advantage Plus scaling campaign at the very top, which is 100% broad. And then we have our primary prospecting CBO in the center of the account. The thing that you need to understand that is going to change is there may be a world where we have multiple Advantage Plus ad sets now. This was not possible in previous setups. This is going to give us significantly more diversity within the account, which is going to help increase performance. So when you think about your core setup, just know that the core of it could change drastically with this new user interface and with the ability to create multiple Advantage Plus ad sets existing in the same campaign. For now, just bear in mind, there is going to be cases where we have multiple ad sets in an Advantage Plus scaling campaign. We are still going to be keeping our core prospecting campaign where we have broad packs with different creatives in each of those packs. We take the winners of those broad packs and we graduate them into the scaling campaign. This is a key of any account that is scaling. So look, we just went through a whole lot today. This is probably extremely overwhelming for most people, and I completely understand because, to be quite honest, this was a lot for me when Facebook was telling me all the details. If this helped you, absolutely let me know in the comments below. And if you have detailed questions, comment below and I will get back to you on an individual basis as long as you are a subscriber. That is all for today. There are going to be so many more updates on this. This is going to be a sweeping change in Facebook ads, and you're going to see dozens of videos about this. Just know that when you come to this channel specifically, all of these strategies, all of these structures are going to be battle tested on nearly 100 accounts. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button and let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. I will see you all in the next one.